Should you go for the smaller Pro phone or the larger Pro phone? In this video, I'm going to help you decide between the iPhone 16 Pro and the iPhone 16 Pro Max by breaking down the real differences. First, let's talk about price and storage options. The iPhone 16 Pro starts at $1,000 with 128 GB of storage. The iPhone 16 Pro Max, however, starts at $1,200. That $200 price difference isn't just because of the larger screen, it's because the Pro Max starts with 256 GB of storage, whereas the regular Pro gives you the 128 GB option. If you compare both models with 256 GB of storage, the price difference drops to just $100. Many users prefer the base model of the Pro because even though 128 GB might seem small, it's enough for most people, especially with cloud storage. But keep in mind that $200 price jump is a 20% increase, and for some, $1,200 might feel like a lot for a phone. That's especially true this year because both the iPhone 16 Pro and the Pro Max have the same features. Unlike previous years, there's no feature exclusive to the Pro Max. For instance, last year's iPhone 15 Pro Max had a 5x telephoto lens that wasn't available on the smaller 15 Pro, which only had a 3x lens. This year, both the 16 Pro and Pro Max share the same 5x telephoto lens and camera system, so your photos and videos will look identical on both devices. Now, that doesn't mean there aren't other differences. The main difference comes down to size and weight. The iPhone 16 Pro is even heavier than last year's 15 Pro, now weighing 199 grams. The iPhone 16 Pro Max is heavier too, coming in at 227 grams. While the weight difference from last year's models is small, both phones feel slightly denser. In some ways, this can be a plus because when you pick up something that feels heavy and solid, your brain associates it with a premium product. Even though people usually prefer lighter phones, holding these does give that high-end feel, or maybe it's just the shiny gold sides playing tricks. The desert titanium color especially adds a royal, almost pharaoh-like vibe. Now, you don't have to be a genius to figure out the main difference between the iPhone 16 Pro and the Pro Max: the size. Both Pro models are larger than their 15 Pro predecessors. The iPhone 16 Pro now has a 6.3-inch display, and the 16 Pro Max comes with a huge 6.9-inch display. While a 0.2-inch increase may not seem like much, it changes the way both phones feel and function in your hand. Now, let's talk about the 6.9-inch Pro Max. The standout feature of this phone is its stunning display. That big 6.9-inch screen, combined with slim bezels, makes for an immersive experience, especially when viewing photos or watching videos. Everything looks amazing on the OLED display. Plus, the extra screen space has some practical perks. Touch controls and apps are more spaced out, and you can see more text without scrolling as often. For the 6.3-inch iPhone 16 Pro, this phone strikes the perfect balance between the old Pro and Pro Max. It's like a Pro Max Mini. You get a bit more screen without it feeling overwhelming, and the difference is noticeable. Like the Pro Max, the larger screen enhances video watching, photo viewing, and reading. But where the 6.3-inch display shines is in areas you might not expect. For example, the keyboard feels perfectly spaced, big enough to avoid typos, yet small enough to make one-handed typing much easier than on the Pro Max. This is where the Pro Max falls short. At 6.9 inches, the Pro Max is almost too big. One-handed use is difficult, and reaching the top of the display with your thumb is a challenge. For many tasks, you'll need to use two hands. The other thing is that using the new camera control button on the regular size 16 Pro feels much more comfortable than on the 16 Pro Max. Switching between camera settings or adjusting the zoom with a slide of your finger is easier on the smaller 16 Pro. On the Pro Max, though, it feels more awkward and tricky to use one-handed due to its larger size and weight. When holding it with one hand, especially upright, the phone feels top-heavy and tends to tip forward. The one advantage of the Pro Max's camera button is that it makes taking pictures easier with one hand in vertical mode. However, using it for gestures and scrolling can be frustrating. There's one big difference between these phones: battery life, which comes down to physics. The iPhone 16 Pro Max has a larger battery, and Apple claims it has the longest battery life ever for an iPhone until someone makes a bigger one. But how much longer does the Pro Max last in daily use? Many battery tests shown on YouTube can be inaccurate because lots of factors can affect battery life, such as poor cellular reception, which can significantly impact battery life and cause it to drain faster than usual. In the TechJap battery test, the iPhone 16 Pro lasted 9 hours and 6 minutes, while the Pro Max lasted 11 hours and 29 minutes, an extra 2 hours. In the Mr. Who's the Boss battery test, the 16 Pro lasted about 8 hours and 19 minutes, while the Pro Max lasted around 11 hours and 22 minutes, which is almost a 3-hour difference. That's impressive. Overall, the iPhone 16 Pro Max has amazing battery life. It might be the best iPhone for battery performance. You could use it all day for music, scrolling through TikTok, or shooting 4K videos and still have plenty of battery left. However, choosing between the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max depends on what you need. They have the same specs, cameras, and features but feel like different experiences. Did you get the iPhone 16 Pro or Pro Max? If not, which one would you choose? I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.